All right, so today I'm going to walk you through the basics of Adobe Premiere Pro. This is the industry standard for editing video, meaning that when you get out into the industry, you don't have to learn a new software. You're learning what the pros use. There are tons and tons of tutorials. There's tons and tons of ideas on ways to learn how to edit in Premiere Pro. I'm going to show you just the basics. I'm going to walk you through how I edit something, some ins and outs, some real quick stuff to give you the basic foundation. Now, the way to get great at, or the way to get good at Premiere Pro is to use it. The way to get great at Premiere Pro is to use it often and kind of try to break it and figure out how you can do different stuff. So we can get started now. I have opened Premiere Pro is all I've done here. You will see basic stuff. New project, open project, team project. I haven't used yet. I can't speak to that, but obviously we're going to create a new project. The difference in Premiere Pro and all of the other software you've ever used in your entire life is that Premiere Pro makes you save everything first. It helps with the flow of the workflow, meaning that the videos will load faster, play faster, so you're not having to deal with lag and other issues. Now, you will have to deal with lag to a degree. Premiere Pro is a big boy, big girl software is how I describe it. It's using big boy, big girl stuff. Giving you a basic understanding of what's happening when you see a video in Premiere Pro. Every pixel in Premiere Pro is a math equation in terms of the video. So what it's doing is it's running that math equation thousands and thousands and thousands of times per pixel so that it can actually make the video run. So the first thing you're going to do is name it. I'm going to call this Premiere Pro Training. And one of the things that I will always tell you to do is save your videos in videos. Sounds like a simple concept. What happens with a lot of students is they get in here, they title it, or they don't title it, they put it somewhere and it doesn't make sense. So I'm going to put it in the tutorials folder and there. So now if I go over here to my videos folder and go to tutorials, you see it's not there yet. It will be there shortly once I hit save. I don't change any of this other stuff. I don't need it. I don't need to change it. It's going to be set to a basic foundation. So I'm going to click OK. And it takes just a moment for Premiere Pro to open up. What it's doing is it's preparing the workspace. It's preparing basically to get ready to do work. Now, basic workspace for Premiere Pro. Let me reset it to editing. This is your project window. This window basically is where you store your files and where you'll access them. This is the source window where you can do some basic edits, which I will show you in just a moment. This is program. Just like in TV production, whatever's in the program window is what's going to get saved. And then finally, this is your timeline. This is where you will do a lot of your editing. So to get started, I'm going to come over here. It says import media to start. I'm going to double click. And I'm going to grab a couple of videos. These are from a recap video that we did last week. I do a recap video every week with my students, and this is what that's from. It's a way for me to teach DSLRs without having to go into some in-depth stuff. So here we go. I'm going to double click that. It pulls it into the source window. Now the cool thing about the source window that it took me a long time to learn what it was truly used for is that I can edit a lot of my stuff in the source window. To use shortcut keys, I tell all of my students, I should say, I tell everybody to use shortcut keys. You have two hands, one on the mouse, one on the shortcut. So I'm going to hit spacebar to play the video.
And can find out more by visiting rockdalelive.com.
Okay. And then if I hit I, watch what happens right here. Basically, it turns this area here gray. This is the video portion that it's going to use at this point.
Thank you so much for watching today's broadcast.
Okay. Now I'm going to hit O. So now when I drag this down to my timeline, watch what piece it drags. It doesn't drag the whole video. It drags just the piece that I wanted.
Thank you so much for watching today's broadcast.
Okay, so that is a basic, very basic edit. So to get there again, you double click, it opens it up in the source window, and you can click and drag. Now you saw over here, there's two bars. The top is V1, the bottom is A1. V stands for video, A stands for audio. So if I want to make some edits to the audio, what I can do is just click here and drag down. See this white line? This is basically your volume meter, your basic start to a volume meter. So if I want to make it a little bit louder
Thank you so much for watching today's broadcast.
or quieter,
Thank you so
I
much.
drag that line up. What's really cool about this is if you hold down, you see how my cursor there has the up and down telling me if I can click and drag. If you hold down the control key, it changes that to a plus sign just to the left or to the right of the arrow. So now if I want to fade it in, I can do it this way.
Thank you so much.
Doesn't really have the impact there. So let's come here and
So much for watching.
okay. So I almost did this instinctually. Your biggest friend in Premiere Pro is the save. Control S. You can go up here and hit File, Save, all of that. But again, why stop editing? I just hit Control S, and I do it regularly. This is a big boy, big girl program. It's going to crash if you don't pay attention and save a lot. So I've got all kinds of horror stories, personally and professionally, where someone didn't save, and it kind of it sucks because I mean lots of tears, lots of anger, and all that. So over here in the project window as well, if you want to add just audio, let me go to downloads. Here we go. I don't know what this is, but it is audio. So I'm going to click here and drop that down below. So now I have.
So much for watching today.
So let's fix this.
Thank you so much for watching today's broadcast.
Okay, so I drug in audio. Pictures are the same way, but you would drag pictures up to the top. You can do still photography. So here's this. Boom. Now, to adjust video, you don't really have to do much of adjustment. But for pictures like this, you may have to. Just double click and go from there. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to show you real quick on how to animate pictures, because those are things that people really like to do. If you go over here to the FX button, you see position. Now, what I'm going to do is I want people to see this coming down. So I'm going to pull it up here. I'm going to hit the stopwatch. I'm going to move forward in time. This is called keyframing. Then I'm going to click and drag this out a little bit. And I may have to do this manually here. Yep, because it's too high there. But I'm going to drag this down and make it stop right there. So now I'm going to hit play.
Thank you so much for watching today's broadcast.
Again, a very basic animation that you can do. Get in there and play with Premiere. You'll learn a lot more. One other thing I want to show you is the new graphics panel. For years, Premiere Pro graphics stunk. It was awful. It was terrible. It was embarrassing as a professional sometimes. So what happened was you didn't use Premiere Pro for graphics. You would edit the video and then take it out into After Effects. So I'm going to click graphics. And then over here you have all kinds of areas you can choose from. I'm going to choose a lower third and click and drag it to here. Okay, it's saying that it needs some fonts. That's fine. I don't really need that at this point. So I'm going to put this back to fit. You see it says your name here. I'm going to click. Okay, so now, pretty simple.
Thank you so much.
If I could type, that'd be better. Okay, that's not my name.
Thank you so much for watching.
Okay, you saw that little lag. Again, when that happens, I immediately hit Control S to save. So your basics are opening up the editor, opening up Premiere, bringing in some footage, using your source window to edit. If you're using your source window and just want to bring in the video, you can click right here and just drag the video. You see it just brings it back. Same thing with audio. So there are times where you're going to want some B-roll laid over some audio, and that is why you would do that. So take some time, learn Premiere Pro. It's a lot of fun. You can get in and do some really cool stuff. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I look forward to seeing, oh, that's not my name. A space there would be tremendous, wouldn't it? There we go. That's not my name. So, sorry, a little ADD, OCD, and Elemental P there. So enjoy Premiere Pro, learn some really cool stuff. I'm excited to see what you guys can create. But again, the best way to get really good at Premiere Pro is to learn the basics and then build off of that. So definitely take the time to learn just the basics and then start peppering different stuff in. If you can do just the basics, you're going to be fine. 99% of the people who are going to watch your video aren't going to know that those are the basics. But before you can make heads explode and cars appear and reappear and all that stuff that you want to learn how to do, you got to know how to get the video in there and get it cut. So thank you so much for watching.